Jumping ahead a few months, we stumble into Australia's Code Red Energized, a flavor that on the surface looks to be an energy drink spin-off, but that's actually not the case. The reason behind the use of the word energized is due to Australia's beverage laws. Like Canada, Australia had a complicated history with caffeine throughout the 2000s and 2010s. Prior to 2012, non-cola soft drinks weren't allowed to incorporate caffeine, so when that law was lifted, the Mountain Dew brand wanted to signify to customers that this new Mountain Dew did now include caffeine capable of giving energy, hence the name addition. And to be clear, caffeine amount and flavor-wise, energized variants don't differ from the norm, except for the fact this Code Red matches New Zealand's berry profile, not the US's cherry. When released, it was never planned for a permanent position, instead a limited time run purely to promote the 2014 film X-Men Days of Future Past. Mountain Dew products promoting this specific film weren't exclusive to Down Under, far from actually, as the promotion spanned 30 countries. But only Australia received a branded Code Red, which was fittingly paired up with the film's character Bishop, who not only dons a red cape, but also has the ability to absorb and redirect energy. Despite the 2012 caffeine law change going into effect years ago, any flavor released in the country still uses the Energized name, as you will come to see. 2022 was the year they received Major Melon, though under a new name. Not one as crazy as Honduras, but one still different enough to raise eyebrows. They called it Energized Zero Sugar Major Melon, similar to the Code Red variant seen in 2014. Unlike the black color used in the US, Major Melon in Australia used instead a more gray look to signify its zero sugar status. Why they decided to release Major Melon only in zero sugar is confusing because in 2024, when the country introduced Passion Fruit Frenzy also under the Energized name, it lacked the zero sugar title. This particular release marked the first time the flavor was ever made available outside of New Zealand. Passion Fruit Frenzy Energized was also said to be exclusive to 7-Eleven and only in bottles despite there being can renders out there. 1 year later, Spark got its own Energized edition in Australia, except it went under the name No Sugar Berry Spark. Besides maybe some slight formula tweaks, this was identical to the Spark seen in the States. The entire Energized phenomenon doesn't end there, with its next entry being by far the most confusing of all. The confusing and uncanny foreign Voodoos don't end there, as in 2025, Australia also debuted what they called Energized Voodoo 6. The color scheme this time around does appear to loosely match, but again the flavor is said to be its own thing. The bottle-only release marks the 4th Energized variant seen in the country, and the second to not be sugar-free. The spokesperson used to promote the drink was not Voodoo Grim, instead a new character named Greg Reaper. Some very basic clues were shown on social media, but they weren't the easiest to follow. The word tangy was thrown around a lot, but what exactly that meant wasn't clear, as even after the drink's run came to an end, no reveal was made. It got to the point where fans were attempting to brute force their way into the concept slideshow seen in this post, only to then be greeted by an access request. To everyone's surprise, over 3 months after the seemingly final Voodoo post, Greg would return with the answer, an answer no one saw coming. Turns out after all this time, it was flavored not after candy, but instead blue raspberry. This was only discovered through a 2026 introduction video for Australia's new 7-Eleven exclusive, Energized Blue Raz Blitz. In the video, Greg Reaper informs fans that this drink right here is just Voodoo without the mystery branding, which would be a first for Mountain Dew. Whether this is true or not depends on who you ask. The health ratings do match, so at least there's that. Unlike the US, Australia still incorporates fun characters in their designs, this time with a blue raspberry bomb. Fans wouldn't have to wait long for a 6th Energized entry, as Blue Raz Blitz was quickly followed up by Typhoon Energized 2 months later. This specific version of the drink is notable for having a definition and artwork clearly showcasing a more specific flavor profile of pineapple and strawberry, which is exactly what Typhoon was described as way back in those Democracy Formula videos. Australia's Typhoon was also strangely seen next to Blue Raz Blitz in a gummy candy collaboration with Allen's. Alongside that release was another Allen's product, this time featuring Passion Fruit Frenzy with fizzy sherbet filling.